Hi everyone, thanks for joining me and watching this video today. This video is about Munchausen's syndrome. For those of you who have first heard of this, I'll read the definition, and but a lot of you have heard this. This is behaviors that are totally in a lot of personality disordered people, specifically cluster B, where you've got your narcissist, borderline, histrionic, sociopath, psychopath. And this is, like everything, is a spectrum. And so I don't want to get into the exact diagnosis of this. I'm talking about behaviors, spectral behaviors that a lot of people can have. Okay, not necessarily just people with syndrome or diagnosed with this syndrome. So, definition, short version: a mental condition in which a person repeatedly seeks medical attention for falsified, exaggerated, or self-inflicted physical symptoms. Also, a little bit more here. Psychiatric factitious disorder, pretending to be affected by disease, illness, injury, or psychological trauma for attention or reassurance. To easily put it, well, first, the people with these syndromes will often find themselves in hospitals. They've been called hospital hoppers, stuff like that. I have an example of somebody that I'm not saying had the syndrome behaviors. I believe this person probably had histrionic personality disorder or borderline personality disorder. This was a friend of mine's mother. I was young and I'd go over to his house and we'd hang out, and his mother was so dramatic and exaggerated about everything, right? Everything. Very histrionic. And she would always talk about her medical problems and for attention, right? And I remember one day we left the house definitely less than 30 minutes, okay? And went to the store or something, came back. And his mother was there when we left, and his mother was there when we got back. And she said, oh, everyone, you won't believe it. I had to go to the hospital. And instantly I'm just thinking, geez, I mean, I've been to the hospital many times, and I've been when there's nobody there, no one in line, but I don't care I don't care if you live next door. You're not getting in and out of a hospital seen and treated, and back home in less than 30 minutes. Real delusional, right? But she said, oh, I had an angina attack. And I had to go to the hospital. I said, oh, well, geez, how'd you get there? Oh, well, the ambulance came. I said, oh, so now in the 30 minutes or less, let's just say 30 minutes, we're gone. Right after you called 911, the ambulance came, picked you up, took you to the hospital, and you got diagnosed with an angina attack and treated, and somehow, I don't even ask her how she got back home, but she got back home, and she's better now. Impossible, but delusional. Exaggerated, fictitious, right? And doing this, for reassurance that I'm okay, but attention, real attention seeking. And these cluster Bs love attention, don't they? I thought that was a good story to share, and I have more. This is totally delusional. This is lying to myself and to others and actually believing it, right? When people start believing their lies, it's delusional thinking, totally. The only thing that keeps them from actually being psychotic would be, hearing and seeing things that aren't there, right? But this is a part of it. This is on the line of psychosis, if you will. These people the people that have the syndrome tend to be knowledgeable in medical terms. They might be nurses, doctors. They might just be in the hospital so much they learn how to read charts, things like this, and they use this medical jargon a lot. So you'll find this high spectrum in cluster B disorders. One thing I've seen is, I saw a person do this once who very much has these behaviors, very, very much, in all kinds of different ways. But I saw somebody once that said they were diagnosed. They said that day they were diagnosed with an organ disorder, a major organ disorder. I mean, this person was old, morbidly obese, a life history of using drugs, drinking every night, overeating, food addictions, eating all night till 6 in the morning, no matter what. I mean, regimentally, right? Perfect candidate for some type of cancer, organ disease. And they said, oh, my doctor diagnosed me with this organ disease, but I know they're wrong. No, I don't. And just went right on to the drinking, the eating, the, gaining more weight, just destroying their body, treating it like a dumpster. But you get to a certain age. I mean, how can you deny that? How could you not go get a second opinion? Well, her second opinion was telling a friend, my doctor diagnosed me with this, but since I was a nurse, I know how to recharge, and they're wrong, and that's it. Well, geez, that may reassure you somehow, but yeah, you're probably going to die from this disease. And so I want to get into, well, here's another example. One time I was sitting in a kitchen, and somebody who's high on this spectrum, right? I'm not talking about anybody that has my example is I'm not labeling these people of having this disorder. It's behaviors, okay? And spectrums are something we're all on, okay? Somewhere. I'm pretty low in this one. I know most of you are. But another example, I was sitting in a kitchen, and this person opened the refrigerator doors, and I'm sitting to the side, and it's those long refrigerator doors that go down to the floor, pretty much, almost, about that much space. And I can see their feet sticking out, their bare feet sticking out under the doors. And I was just literally watching them, so it didn't get my attention. I was watching them, and I see one of those packages of lunch meat, right? The biggest ones I've ever seen is a pound. So let's just say it was a pound, and it was like a quarter full. So we're talking about a quarter pound, 4 ounces. 4 ounces of lunch meat in a plastic bag falls, right? And she goes, oh, ow, God, my foot's never gonna heal. And they've had this supposed foot injury 6 months to a year, where I've never seen any swelling or bruising, and most of the time, or if not all the time, there's no limp. They can go walk through an amusement park all day and be fine, but now a package of turkey fell on it, and now it's re-injured. Oh, God. And it just gets you to say, oh, what happened? Oh, you okay? Oh, I hope you get better. Oh, right? The funniest thing was that the package of turkey didn't even hit the foot. What I saw looked like it landed right between the feet. They didn't think I saw that, because people with personality disorders really lack awareness. A lot of times they won't really know how bad they look, their behaviors. And a lot of times they think we're stupid and have us all fooled because they're fooled. This delusional thinking also comes out and looks like gaslighting sometimes, where they just want attention and reassurance. They can't cope with their life. They can't cope with their problems. They're scared. Their fears. The fear of death and disease and dying. So it's not just faking their own injuries. There's more. Parenting. I call this, or it's called Munchausen by proxy. This is a real term. You guys can go on YouTube and look this up, and there's some horrific stories of mothers taking their children to hospitals all the time. This is a very extremely narcissistic mother who believes that everyone in their life is really for them, and everything's about them, and they take, even what somebody says about somebody else, they might take it personally. And they they will take their children to the hospital consistently. They may even do something bad to their children, and instead of just self-harming, harming their child, because the narcissistic, really narcissistic parent believes that a child is just an extension of themselves, never dividing them into two separate people. You're here for me. And when I'm happy, you be happy. When I'm mad, you be mad. When I'm upset, you be upset. And when I need something, you give it to me and do something for me. And I don't need to do anything for you, this small part of myself. Everything I do is for me, which you are. So if I do something good for me, I'm doing something good for you. I've seen, and it really looks like gaslighting, right? I remember somebody kept their house just absolutely freezing. I mean, for me, freezing in a house can be, 60s, low 60s. That's cold. It's uncomfortable for most humans, unless you're super active and sweating and stuff. But I remember I'd be working all day, and they know I didn't like the cold, but they don't care. They don't address it. They don't ever turn it off a little bit. They lie, right? They say, oh, I notice every time you come in when you're hot and sweaty, you like that cold, huh? And it's just like, dude, that's not, no, actually it's too cold. It feels gross. But the Munchausen by proxy, taking the child to the hospital, falsifying injuries and conditions, and maybe even causing them for attention. There's some huge cases out there of mothers doing this. There's one story, I can't remember, I wish I looked it up. There's one story of a mother that convinced a whole town and almost the nation that their child was suffering from this disgusting disease, just killing the child, and needing all kinds of treatments that really are difficult and damaging for a child, especially like cancer treatments and stuff, and taking all kinds of donations and making all kinds of money on this until they realized that the mother was just poisoning the child, and not to kill the child, literally, I think just for attention, money, things like this. That extension of self, getting that attention through their child. Munchausen by proxy. I have another example. And this is to help you understand this kind of narcissistic parenting where the child is me, a part of me. I knew a person once who had a dog. And the whole time, I didn't know them very long, the whole time I knew them, they would constantly, anytime the subject of fireworks came up, they would freak out and talk about how much the dog is so scared of fireworks. Oh my gosh. As it gets closer to the 4th of July, people don't just light off fireworks on the 4th of July. They might light them off on the, in June, late June. They might, and it increases, right? July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and then on the 4th, it's a ton of fireworks at 10 p.m., up until 10 p.m. or longer, all night. And I remember this person complaining about the fireworks. After a while, it was all about the dog. The dog's scared. The dog's so scared of fireworks, it just gets so upset. And I need to give it drugs, and I give it 2 different things to mellow it out. And it just, it's just awful. It's so upset. It hates fireworks. Oh. And then later saying things like getting angry when the fireworks were going on, and getting so angry the next day saying, I just can't believe these people that light fireworks off, and there's garbage everywhere, it pollutes the environment. And it's like, man, let people have some fun and celebrate, right? Don't forget what 4th of July is if you live in America, if you're a proud American, and if you love our history. It's a celebration of our independence, right? And people have different ways of celebrating, not just the way that you like to celebrate, by doing nothing and hiding, scared. I understand people are scared of fireworks, and I'm not trying to be uncompassionate or unempathetic, but the lying and saying that it's all of my dog that hates it, my dog hates the fireworks, my dog hates it, and then getting so angry at the people that light fireworks, saying that there's just so much garbage. Well, most firework garbage is paper, which is biodegradable. Really, it's not that harmful. The gunpowder all gets lit and exploded and disintegrates, and we're left with little shreds of paper, besides maybe a plastic stand or something on a big thing. But my gosh, and if you don't like it so much, help clean it up if it's in your neighborhood. But no, it's complaining, and how can other people like this and do this when I don't? So narcissistic, right? And so they continued about the dog hates the fireworks so much. And then I remember one day, I started noticing the dog not really reacting to fireworks. There was fireworks going off outside, far away, and you could definitely hear him, but really didn't look scared or anxious or nervous. Matter of fact, wagging the tail, coming up to me, wanting to play. And I was like, huh, doesn't seem scared to me. You already got it drugged or something? Because it seems fine. I mean, I know the signs of dogs being nervous and scared, the shaking and the hiding, and maybe it was a little scared. This is something a parent can force on children. You know, this is scary, this is bad because I think so, and the child will start believing it is for them and start getting scared, which is just a horrible thing to teach children, right? But using this dog as an extension of herself. Then the truth came out. She volunteered a story to me saying, yeah, when I was a young kid, I was traumatized by fireworks. There was kids lighting them off and shooting them at me. Now, that's really sad. Anyone who's traumatized by anything, it's sad, it's harsh. But the truth came out. It wasn't the dog so scared. It was the owner so scared. And drugging the dog and, hiding it. No, it's so scared. I think that's an interesting story. Again, these are just behaviors. I'm not talking about any diagnosis at all. It's another concept for you guys to try to understand. This is a spectrum you could say we're all on, right? I mean, children are privy to this very much, right? Children, they won't know. I've seen, this is common, right? A lot of parents, you guys know, that a child can fall down and hurt their knees, and yeah, they're in pain. And how they react depends a lot on how we react as parents, right? And so something I've learned with children, I don't have my own, but with others, and seeing it with parents, is I'll see a parent, when a child falls and a parent, oh, you okay? And they go, oh, I guess not, right? Or they show them blood, there's blood, and where a parent can say, oh, you okay, you're gonna be all right, get back up and scuff it off and let's go again. And that child will react that way. I think that's a healthy thing to do. Not that we don't want to protect our children or keep them safe, but we don't want fear to rule their lives either, right? So I think a big part of Munchausen syndrome is very delusional thinking. I think these people tend to believe their own lies. And this often looks like gaslighting too, doesn't it? Imagine a parent who's afraid of something so bad, they insist that the child is too, and if not, they install the fear, right? Imagine if you're vaccinated and you want someone else to be vaccinated about, and not even just what's going on, but and you want them to get the vaccine because you have it and you want it, and so they have to because they're part of you, and right, and so you just fear monger, and oh, you're gonna die, and make up stories about everyone dying from it, and oh God, not healthy for people in their life at all. None. I think this is an interesting topic, and I like having fun with it, and I would love to hear any of your guys' examples, because most of you who watch my videos have had lots of relationships, maybe your whole life, with disordered people that are on a little bit higher on the spectrum, not necessarily the syndrome. And so a lot of you have a lot of stories of this, of how people seek out this attention and delusional thinking, lying, exaggerating, dramatic, right? Love to hear them down below. Let me know. Thanks. And please support my channel by subscribing and voting up and down, commenting. Okay. Thank you. Love yourself first, guys. Bye.